Condolences pour in for broadcasting icon Lowell Green. The former CFRA host passed away suddenly at the age of 89. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. Words of remembrance are flooding the CFRA airwaves and social media posts online. The legendary Lowell Green passed away this weekend. A Facebook statement on his page says Lowell died suddenly on Valentine's Day, a day that celebrates love, and if there's one thing everyone can agree on, is that the late Lowell Green absolutely loved being a broadcaster. CTV's Dylan Dyson is here with more on this storied career, Dylan.
Stefan, Lowell Green dominated the airwaves here in Ottawa since 1966, starting as a news and farm reporter before becoming the host of his prominent call-in talk show.
Why in 13 years, you damn liberals, haven't you provided the daycare you say is absolutely fundamental to raise a safe child?
As you heard there, Green truly set the standard for opinion-driven broadcasting and was known for his 5 decades on News Talk 580 CFRA and as host of the ever-loved call-in program, The Lowell Green Show. When he retired in 2016, he was North America's longest-running open-line talk show host. Among his accomplishments, Green helped create the Ottawa chapter of Big Brother, the Help Santa Toy Parade, and the Rideau River Conservation Authority, and was instrumental in promoting Canadian unity during the Quebec referendum of 1995.
He basically pioneered the format of talk radio in our city and in our country. It was through Lowell Green's show that people expressed their views, and politicians would listen to his show to know what people thought about the issues.
But off air, he was really a much gentler person than his on-air persona because he understood the value and the importance of being a broadcaster. It was a show. He put it together. He got people involved. He made celebrities out of many of his callers.
Following his retirement in 2016, Green continued to contribute to CFRA's talk shows until 2022. Green also received multiple awards, including the Queen Elizabeth II Golden and Diamond Jubilee Medals and the Radio Television Digital News Association's Lifetime Achievement Award. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Dylan Dyson reporting live for us. Thank you, Dylan. And you heard a bit from Ottawa Mayor Mark Sutcliffe already, but he was once a broadcaster on CFRA himself, and he issued a statement that reads in part, "I'm very sad to hear of the passing of legendary Ottawa broadcaster Lowell Green. I grew up listening to Lowell on 580 CFRA and then became a colleague and friend for 20 years. He was a groundbreaking talk show host and a proud Canadian." Part of the statement by Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says this, "Lowell was the voice of the common people of the Ottawa Valley. Day after day, he would fill the airwaves with the truth that no one else had the courage to speak. He was the voice of the hard-working majority of people so often forgotten by those in power." And current CFRA morning show host Bill Carroll says, "Ottawa and Canada have lost an absolute legend. He inspired and rallied Canadians on many important causes. Lowell Green has passed after 89 remarkable years. He provided the template for any broadcaster who wants to share their views with this great country." This weekend also marks the tragic passing of the 13-year-old girl who was injured in a chairlift incident at a West Quebec ski resort. Police in Western Quebec will work with an Ontario coroner to investigate this death. The girl was on a school trip at Centre Vorlage last Wednesday. First responders for the area were called after a piece of clothing got caught in the lift when she tried to get off. She was taken to a Wakefield hospital before being transferred to CHEO. The child's family has put out a statement shared by CHEO, and part of it reads, "We would like to extend our love to all of those affected by this terrible tragedy. We are also grateful for everyone who took heroic action to help save our precious child. Her sweet, bubbly spirit and love for those around her will live on through the lives she has touched and the lives she has saved through Trillium gift of life organ donation." In Ottawa's Hintonburg neighborhood, a longtime favorite could soon disappear. The Carleton Tavern is set to be demolished as part of a major redevelopment. A proposal from Taggart Realty would see the building replaced with a 38-story mixed-use high-rise featuring more than 460 residential units. As part of the project, Taggart is also proposing new building with design elements inspired by the current tavern.
As part of the development, Taggart is proposing to put another building that would have lots of nods to the current Carleton and presumably for some kind of a restaurant use, whether that is the Carleton Tavern relocating back into the building or another business.
Hoping they'll leave the bottom part just as a tavern.
The concept and the drawings look wonderful. So, and maybe to replace some of these little bit run-down buildings would be fine.
Demolition is proposed because of its age, structural deterioration, and the need for major site remediation, including cleaning up groundwater contamination. OC Transpo expects to have another train available for service on Line 1 this week, but commuters will still see single-car trains running on the east-west line. The transit service reduced the number of cars running on Line 1 after a spalling issue was discovered on the axles last month. Transit Services General Manager Troy Charter says 21 cars will be available for service this week, but 26 cars are required for regular double-car service. The O train is running every 3 to 4 minutes during peak periods. And if you're hoping to get a skate in on the Rideau Canal Skateway this evening, you'll need to do so before 10 o'clock tonight. The skateway will temporarily close at 10 due to the warmer temperatures. The NCC says this is a precautionary measure to preserve the ice surface. It hopes to reopen the skateway as soon as conditions allow. And Winterlude wraps up today, and officials say this one is going out on a strong note, with hundreds of thousands visiting throughout the festival over 3 weekends. CTV's Kimberly Johnson joins us in studio after visiting both Jacques Cartier Park and Confederation Park today. Kimberly.
Well, Steph, I could not let Winterlude wrap up without visiting the snow slide and also the beautiful ice sculptures at Confederation Park, and I was not the only one. Officials say that they estimate more than 500,000 people have visited the two official sites over the course of the festival and say today alone was one of their busiest of the season.
It's amazing to have this in the middle of the city and on a beautiful winter day. So
this is the first year I've been to this part. We usually just go to the other part, but I honestly prefer this one because I like looking at the sculptures.
Had an amazing time skating on the canal all winter long. We've seen the ice sculptures, and this is the last thing we haven't done. And there's just way more to do here than I even thought.
Officials say that a series of cooler temperatures over the last few weeks helped to really keep the festival strong for its final weekend. The ice sculptures were still intact for the lineups of people who visited Confederation Park's Crystal Garden today, and more than 42 sculptures, ice and snow sculptors, were required to create all of those beautiful ice sculptures that we saw, and more than 1,000 blocks of ice were needed. Stefan.
So impressive. CTV's Kimberly Johnson reporting live for us. Thank you, Kimberly. And of course, the last day of Winterlude is on Family Day, which is being marked across the province today. And on top of Winterlude, there were plenty of activities across the capital for families to enjoy.
Something family, something to introduce me as well to the Canadian culture. Mom is from Brazil, Papa's Canadian, so it's a mix of all of these elements, and we are having so much fun.
It was a fun-filled day outdoors for families doing some snow tubing over at Le Domaine and L'Ange Gardien. And at Ottawa City Hall, families laced up their skates for the Mayor's Family Day skating party at the Rink of Dreams. The free event included live music and hot chocolate. Ontario Trade Minister Vic Fedeli says the Prime Minister will travel to India in early March. Mark Carney has said he is working to diversify Canada's alliances beyond the U.S. He is also trying to reset relations with India. Fedeli says the PM will be in New Delhi likely on March 1st and 2nd to discuss the framework for a comprehensive economic partnership agreement. Fedeli is also visiting India to participate in an AI-focused global summit and to attract companies to Ontario. He says trade between our province and India has grown 60% since 2018. On the topic of trade, a Canadian delegation is in Mexico this week ahead of a formal review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is leading the group, which also includes Canadian Business and Industry Association representatives. The visit comes as U.S. President Donald Trump has suggested he may end American participation in the agreement, which is set to undergo a mandatory review this year. The deal, known as CUSMA, has helped shield both Canada and Mexico from Trump's tariffs. LeBlanc says the trade mission is aimed at deepening Canadian and Mexican collaboration in key sectors. Also, Janice Charette has been chosen to serve as Canada's chief trade negotiator to the U.S. Prime Minister Carney announced the appointment today, saying she brings extraordinary leadership expertise and a deep commitment to advancing Canada's interests. Charette will act as a senior advisor to Dominic LeBlanc and the PM. She replaces Kirsten Hillman, who recently stepped down. Turning now to another round of layoff notices issued to federal public servants. 94 employees at Library and Archives Canada have received notices that their jobs could be at risk. The Treasury Board of Canada Secretariat's online tracker for workforce adjustments shows 90 employees and 4 executives at Library and Archives have received notices. The Treasury Board says 53 employees and 3 executives will be cut as part of the federal government's plan to downsize its public service by 28,000 positions by the year 2029.
As a proud Canadian, it is my privilege and honor to provide you with the enclosed Canadian flag.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, a Prescott woman receives a special patriotic gift, 17 years in the making. And our Jackie Paris is joining us live in studio with our first check on weather. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. We had a clear sunny day today, but this will change later this evening. It has prompted a freezing drizzle advisory for here in Ottawa, so it means icy, slippery conditions overnight into Tuesday morning. Taking a look at those overnight temperatures, -2. Again, the risk of freezing drizzle for parts of eastern Ontario. Tomorrow, daytime high of 3 degrees. We are anticipating a mainly cloudy Tuesday, but right now temperatures pretty mild for this time of year. Temperatures along the seaway sitting around 3 degrees. It's -2 in Kingston. It's about -1 here in Ottawa. We will have a full look at your forecast and more because snow is on the way. These details for you in just a bit.
Thank you, Jackie. A live check on traffic right now. Things not looking too bad on this family day. Smooth sailing in both directions at St. Laurent and Riverside. You're going to see a little bit more traffic volume around Nicholas, but again, things are fairly light today. Welcome back to CTV News at 5. It has been 61 years since Canada's red and white maple leaf flew on Parliament Hill for the first time. Canada's Flag Day was this past weekend, and across the capital, Canadians are celebrating the national symbol. CTV's Josh Morano has one Prescott woman's story and why this year's milestone is especially meaningful.
As a proud Canadian, it is my privilege and honor to provide you with the enclosed Canadian flag.
It's a letter Teresa Jansman has been waiting for nearly 2 decades.
We didn't think about it much, but once in a while, we would comment, I wonder where we are on that wait list.
In March 2009, the Prescott native and her 2 children visited Parliament Hill, learning about the history of the Canadian flag that flies on the Peace Tower.
The obvious question was, when you replace it, where do the old ones go? Because they replace it quite often.
She was told the flag is replaced every workday. Knowing this, Jansman signed up to be put on a wait list to receive one of the flags. After 17 years, it finally arrived. All 230 by 460 centimeters of it.
I received this letter, signed and everything. It came with what the date was that this particular flag was flown.
According to the Government of Canada website, the current waiting period for the Canadian flag on the Peace Tower and other Parliament Hill buildings is over 100 years.
We like the maple leaf. It's unique, so it's very strong symbol. We're supporting Canada.
February 15th is Flag Day, marking the anniversary of the first time the red and white maple leaf flag was raised in 1965. In Ottawa, Winterlude included Flag Day celebrations, visitors taking a spin on their flag knowledge and showing their appreciation.
It represents just people coming together and Canadians celebrating our heritage and history shared across all the provinces.
But most of all, I'm just grateful to live in such a beautiful country.
For Jansman, she says her pride is as big as her flag, but now she has to decide where to put it.
A few suggestions, but nothing's been decided yet. It's now become a family heirloom, if you will.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
I'm happy that I brought that first gold medal to Canada, and I hope that's going to inspired my fellow Canadians, and we're going to go on a gold medal streak here. More medals are going to come, and I'm not more medals are going to come.
And it looks like he did just that. Canada's King of the Slopes gives his country its first gold medal at the Winter Games, and we added another this afternoon. Stay tuned for details. Coming up later tonight on CTV, E-Talk starts at 7. That's followed by an episode of The Big Bang Theory, then Extracted at 8, and back-to-back episodes of The Rookie starting at 9. Now for another check on the weather forecast, here's Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Mainly clear skies today. What a wonderful way to celebrate Family Day. But we are following a system that is making its way from the west, and we could see some freezing drizzle and rain into the overnight and tomorrow morning. We'll have those details in a bit. But first, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. A little bit of daylight still here for our Monday. Downtown Ottawa, -1. So again, kind of gray skies, and it will affect what we are seeing for Monday evening. Now take a look at this. Pembroke, Ottawa, we may see a mix of those light flurries or wintry mix moving through. Even parts of Eastern Ontario could see some freezing rain as early as 8 o'clock. It should clear by midnight, but pay attention early morning Tuesday. Brockville, even parts of Kingston could see a little bit of rainfall moving through. It will clear very quickly, but again, with temperatures hovering around the freezing mark, this could lead to icy, slippery conditions. So tomorrow's morning commute, keep this in mind. Taking a look now at temperatures, we can see that overnight and midnight it's going to be about -2 degrees. The chance of flurries moving in. The risk of freezing drizzle for tomorrow morning, starting off at 1 degree. We are warming up to a daytime high of 3 degrees. But again, most of our Tuesday will be overcast, cloudy conditions. It is Wednesday, though, that we want to keep an eye out for. Now, we're going to take a look at that in a bit. But first, Seaway, -1 overnight, 2 degrees, the daytime high. And parts of the valley will see an overnight low of -3, 2 degrees, and cloudy skies is the condition. So again, freezing drizzle advisory for overnight into tomorrow morning. We could already see the parts of Ontario have a winter storm watch in effect that could see between 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, as well as icy conditions. And this is for Wednesday, for most of the Wednesday. You can see here the active weather system really focusing in the southern part of just south of Ottawa. So Kingston, Watertown could see some light flurries moving through, even a mix of that freezing rain. But Ottawa, for now, it remains clear. We're keeping a very close eye on this as well. Daytime highs for the next several days. We are hovering around the freezing mark. Thursday will be starting to cool down, -1 on Thursday. Friday, -3, and we could see more snow on the way by the end of the week. Stefan.
Thanks for this, Jackie. And coming up for us here on CTV News at 5, we're going to check out what you're looking at on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. If you go to our homepage right now, all of our top stories are there. But our digital team also posted this quirky one out of Petawawa. Apparently, the Your Independent Grocery Store in Petawawa is missing about 100 baskets or more, and they've posted a flyer asking for people to return them. No questions asked, saying that the fellow shoppers would be grateful to see those come back. You can check out all the details at ctvnewsottawa.ca.
Heathcliff is gone. You must accept it.
Lots more to come. The big winners at the box office this Family Day weekend. Stay with us.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. The temperature right now, -1. And here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
Not only there's a police investigation, but now there's a coroner investigation. So a coroner was named on the Ontario side.
The 13-year-old Ottawa girl who was critically injured in a chairlift incident at the Vorlage ski hill last week has died. Her family says she will be remembered for her sweet, bubbly spirit and the lives she has saved through organ donation.
He basically pioneered the format of talk radio in our city and in our country.
Remembering legendary Ottawa broadcaster Lowell Green, the former CFRA radio host and community advocate passed away this weekend at the age of 89.
Minister Mark Miller is here and he's hands-on. His Deputy Secretary, David Miles, is also here. And of course, Minister LeBlanc.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc leads a trade mission in Mexico, joined by hundreds of Canadian delegates and businesses. Now for the final 5 other stories we're following today.
I'm happy that I brought that first gold medal to Canada, and I hope that's gonna inspire my fellow Canadians, and we're gonna go on a gold medal streak here. More medals are gonna come.
Skiing star Michael Kingsbury clinches our country's first Olympic gold, and this afternoon, Canada added a second gold medal with Megan Oldham dominating the women's freestyle skiing big air competition. Canada now has 11 medals in total. 3 months after the province deactivated photo radar cameras, it turns out the city of Ottawa is still owed millions of dollars in outstanding fines from speeding drivers. Data provided to CTV News shows there are more than 81,600 unpaid speeding tickets issued through the photo radar cameras. They are worth more than $12 million in outstanding fines. Today marks the final day for Canadians to use their Toys R Us gift cards. A judge ruled the struggling retailer could stop accepting gift cards following a 2-week period after it filed for creditor protection. That period ends today. Toys R Us began creditor protection proceedings earlier this month. It struggled to pay its bills. Court documents show it had more than $36 million in outstanding gift card obligations at the time. The federal government's revamped electric vehicle rebate program went into effect today. Canadians are now able to access up to $5,000 from Ottawa to put toward purchasing a new electric vehicle. Plug-in hybrids are eligible for $2,500 in subsidies. The federal Liberals are spending $2.3 billion on the new incentive program.
Heathcliff is gone. You must accept it.
Moviegoers fell in love with a new take on a literary classic this Valentine's Day weekend. Emerald Fennell's adaptation of Wuthering Heights brought in $34.8 million U.S. across North America. That put the film starring Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi in first, followed by animated basketball movie GOAT, which secured $26 million in ticket sales. Heist film Crime 101 debuted in third with $15.1 million. Thanks for watching CTV News at 5. Early edition of National is now.